Hello guys, welcome back to our channel, Life in Motion Studio.
Okay, picture this. You're fast asleep. The world outside is totally quiet, distant. You're in that deep, perfect, nothing can bother you kind of rest. Everything is just perfectly calm. Your breathing is slow, it's steady. There are no worries, no disturbances, just peace. And then, bam, you wake up. Your eyes just snap open. There wasn't a noise, nothing moved, but your heart is absolutely pounding in your chest. You've got this gut feeling that something is seriously wrong. So, what in the world just happened? Why does our body do this to us? Well, today we're going to dive deep into the ancient, hardwired reason behind that sudden jolt awake. It's a mechanism known as the startle reflex. This is really the heart of the mystery, isn't it? Why does your body's internal alarm system just go off in the dead of night for what feels like no reason at all, and it leaves you wide awake, totally on edge? Well, the answer is hiding in some really old programming, something that's hardwired deep inside your brain. So let's go uncover the prime suspect, this built-in alarm system that's been protecting our species for millennia.
And here it is. This is our prime suspect, the startle reflex. Now, this isn't just a human thing. It's an ancient survival tool, way older than humanity itself, and it was designed for one single purpose: to wake you up from the deepest sleep, instantly, at the slightest hint of danger.
A good way to think of it is like your brain's built-in predator detection system. And here's the crucial part. This system doesn't turn off when you go to sleep. Nope, it runs every single night, constantly scanning your surroundings for threats, even when you're tucked away, safe in your own bed. And this right here really gets to the heart of the problem. See, for our ancestors, this system was scanning for real threats, predators, rival tribes. But today, that same super-sensitive system is getting triggered by a random creak in the floor, maybe a slight shift in your own breathing, or even just the end of a dream.
But here's where it gets interesting. It turns out these sudden awakenings aren't totally random. They tend to happen in a very specific window of time. So let's investigate the scene of the crime, what I like to call the 3 a.m. danger zone.
Yeah, studies show that most of these jolts happen between about 2:30 a.m. and 4 a.m., and that is not a coincidence. This is the time when your body enters this really unique state of vulnerability. During this window, your whole biology changes. Your core body temperature drops to its lowest point all day. Your energy reserves are totally depleted, and your conscious awareness is pretty much at rock bottom. This whole combination makes your brain extremely sensitive and hypervigilant, ready to freak out at the smallest thing. Okay, so we've got our main suspect, the startle reflex, and we know when it likes to strike. But what's actually, pulling the trigger? Now we need to identify the accomplices, all the little sleep glitches and false triggers that set this whole thing off. Now, it's really important to get this straight. These glitches, they aren't the root cause. The startle reflex is the cause. But these little things are the modern-day triggers that trick our ancient alarm system into thinking there's a real and present danger right now. Have you ever had that feeling like you're falling right as you're drifting off to sleep? That is a classic false alarm. It's called a hypnic jerk. Basically, as your muscles finally relax, your brain sometimes gets confused and misinterprets that feeling as you literally falling. So what does it do? The startle reflex kicks in to save you. And that causes that huge jolt that snaps you awake. A couple of other triggers are what we can call sleep transition glitches. This is where your brain just gets a little lost as it cycles between deep sleep, light sleep, and REM. And then there's sleep shock. If you're stressed or anxious, your brain stays way more alert at night, which magnifies tiny noises and feelings until they seem like legitimate threats. All right, so let's pull all these pieces together. We've got an ancient reflex, a vulnerable time of night, and a bunch of harmless little triggers. It is time for the final verdict on this ghost of a threat.
So here's how it all plays out. A floorboard creaks, your ancient startle reflex fires up, and it instantly floods your body with adrenaline. This is why your heart is already racing the second you open your eyes. The physical fear response happens first. Your conscious brain trying to figure out why comes a distant second.
And there you have it. The mystery is solved. The reason you wake up so suddenly with your heart pounding out of your chest is because a primitive part of your brain is still faithfully protecting you from predators out in the wild, a danger that, for most of us, just doesn't exist anymore.
You know, your startle reflex kept our ancestors alive for countless generations. Today, it mostly just messes with our sleep. It's a fascinating, and yet sometimes frustrating reminder of our deep, deep past. The threat is gone, but the instinct remains.